How's it going, kiddos? Handsome Jack Boy here, bringing you guys the 7th episode of my Borderlands, the Abandoned Badlands Pearlescent Weapons Guide. And in this episode, I'm going to be covering the Taurus. The Taurus is a pearlescent rocket launcher, and the prefix for mine is RWL7600, Devastating Taurus. The prefix for you guys might change. Now, as you can see there in the red text, it says, when the hunted becomes the hunter. So I'm not entirely sure what this thing does, but all I know is that it's a homing rocket launcher with a custom exhaust fume. Has pretty damn good damage, if I say so myself. Obviously a good magazine size since it's an S&S rocket launcher. My particular variation has a 4.9 times weapon zoom. I'm not sure if it's part of the special effect, like if every variation has this, or if it's just part of my variation, but it's really good weapon zoom, although I found it kind of useless with the homing effect. You guys will see in the gameplay that you can just hip fire this thing all day long, and it'll do the trick. So anyway, speaking of the gameplay, let's get right into it. Now, to get your hands on this weapon, or really any Abandoned Badlands Legendary or Pearlescent, let me just say that they're random within the custom DLC itself, meaning that you can find them pretty much anywhere. It's just like the legendaries within the vanilla game, in that you can find them from almost any loot source, at least any loot source that can, you know, drop weapons and whatnot, but it's kind of the same thing. Now, there is a way that you can farm for these Pearlescents and legendaries and just get a, you know, increased chance at these, and that is farming Bubba, which is one of the bosses in the DLC. You can farm him for this thing, although the problem with doing this is that you never know what you're going to get from him. You know, if he drops a Pearlescent, he might drop a totally different Pearlescent. Like, you're not going to get this Pearlescent every time. So he is a good source of these Pearlescents, and if you're going to try to farm for him, then definitely do it that way. But, you know, you're not guaranteed to get the one that you're looking for, or the ones that you're looking for. I will say, though, that all of the Pearlescents so far have been pretty damn good. There are ones that are better than others. This thing is definitely up there on that list. It's a lot of fun. You can definitely see from this gameplay that I'm just blazing through these guys. One thing I wasn't expecting with this thing is that it has homing missiles. I didn't realize it would have that going into this gameplay. It took me a couple runs to realize it had homing missiles. I just kind of shot the enemies directly, and then I noticed, holy shizness, these rockets home in on targets. So I love that about it. You can also see that each missile has a custom exhaust fume, which is a nice touch. I like that a lot. Right here, I pull out the heavy gunner comm. I was rocking the support gunner comm to start out, and of course, with this comm equipped, I deal more damage, and you'll notice that here. But you do got to be careful wielding this rocket launcher, because the enemies can actually shoot your missiles out of the air. That actually has happened here in the footage more than a few times. You may have seen that, and we're probably wondering what the hell happened there. Is there a bug with this rocket launcher? And I don't think it's a bug. I think the enemies can legitimately shoot your missiles out of the air, and you got to be careful where you're aiming this thing. The missiles can tend to be a little bit wonky as well. And another thing that you probably caught on to is that mine is fire, even though it doesn't show on the item card that it's a fire rocket launcher. So I'm not sure if it's always fire. It probably is, but I just kind of wanted to point it out just in case you didn't notice. You probably did notice, though. But yeah, all in all, I just freaking love this rocket launcher. It's good fun, that's for sure. Definitely one of my favorite Pearlescents of the Abandoned Badlands. I think there's only one more Pearlescent left to cover, which I believe is a Pearlescent repeater called the Botox or something like that. There might be one more left. I'll have to look, but apart from that, though, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'm out of here. Peace!